give me
one thing. Give me Revelations 13 and verse 9. I'm going to show you something about the Bible that you may not know. In the Okay, well, all praises you hear now. Now you're going to learn something.
Right.
Read that.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 9.
Uh-huh.
If any man have an ear, let him hear.
So if we have understanding, let's listen up and we're going to learn something. Read.
He that leadeth into captivity.
It said, he that leadeth into captivity. Were we led into captivity by somebody? How did we get here to this side of the earth? We traveled on what? Cargo slave ships. Did that not happen? Is that history? So you don't believe in history?
Not all of it.
Not everybody. You're right. Not everybody was here. What you said, sis? Okay. So 1619 was the beginning of the transatlantic slave trade. All praises. Y'all learn sign language. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful way to communicate. What we're saying?
I don't know that much. I just know how to tell somebody my name.
Okay. Oh, cool. That's more than I know, so it's cool to me. But what we're talking about is history. 1619 was the transatlantic slave trade. We were brought here by force on cargo slave ships. Our names were taken from us, and we were given the names of the plantation owners. This is known fact. This is history. This is taught in school. Read it again.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Hey, we got a flyer for them. It said, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. We were led into captivity by another nation of people. Hey, you can give them that one, the true image of Christ. You can give them that one. So what we're teaching is history and Bible prophecy. Read that from the top again, verse 10.
Verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
We were led into captivity in the transatlantic slave trade. We were led into captivity during Columbus' so-called discovery of America. Because when Columbus came here with his boats, he actually took people back to Spain as slaves. When he came here and he saw the people in the island of Boricua, which he later called Puerto Rico, which means rich port, because he saw all the riches that they had. He's like, this people, we're able to take them back. This people is of a good countenance to take back. So he took slaves back with him along with the riches. And again, we were brought from the west coast of Africa here in slavery. So it said, he that leadeth into captivity, which is documented throughout history, throughout the educational system, this has been taught. There's movies about it. It's documented that slavery happened. So it said, he that leadeth into captivity shall
go into captivity. And he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
So it said, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. 100 million slaves died on the Middle Passage. Those same routes that these boats take, sharks migrate through those same routes to this day because of the number of bodies that were thrown off those ships during the transatlantic slave trade. We were bound and tied up at the bottom of boats on top of each other. We would urinate and defecate on top of each other. If you had your menstruation period, it happened on top of each other. Sickness, disease.
Right.
Our backs were whipped. Our hands were cut off. If our sisters were pregnant, they would cut the baby out of your belly and smash the baby on the wall. Is that love? That's not love. But God said, those that led us into captivity shall go into captivity. That is a just God. That is truth. That is what they didn't teach you in the Bible. That's why you don't believe the Bible. Because the things that were not taught to you that are in this Bible that are truth, that is history, that shall become prophecy.
Right.
And it's not hate speech. Because we don't hate anybody. Give me Romans 12:17. We don't hate anybody. But we're gonna show you what's honest and what's true. Romans 12:17. Let's get there.
Bring it out.
The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 18. If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, Live peaceably.
No, start at 17. Not on 17.
Recompense to no man, evil for evil.
So we're not out here telling our brothers to go out here and go to war with the so-called white man or anybody else. Read.
Provide things honest in the sight of all men.
So we're going to provide things honest in the sight of all men. This happened to the Native Americans. This happened to the so-called African Americans. This happened to the Hispanics. These things happen. These things are true. These things are honest, and that's what we're going to tell our people. We're going to provide facts from the Bible and from history. The Bible is the truest book on the planet. It's the blackest book on the planet. Matter of fact, let's get into that. Give me Songs of Solomon.
Bring it out.
Solomon was the richest king, the wisest king to walk the face of the earth. And watch what Solomon says about himself. Watch what Solomon says. Song of Solomon 1 and 5. Come on, my brother.
The book of Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. I am black, but comely.
Solomon said he is black and handsome. The word comely means handsome. So Solomon, the richest king, one of the kings of Israel, said, I am black. Give me Job 30 and 30. These are the things that you're not going to learn on Sunday because they're not going to teach this.
Right.
The Bible is black history. The Bible is black present, and the Bible is black rulership.
That's right.
Read.
The book of Job, chapter 30, verse 30. My skin is black upon me.
He said, my skin is black upon me. So I'm going to ask you a question. Who's the mother of Jesus?
Mary?
Mary, right? Give me the description of Jesus. Now, I'm going to give you the description of Jesus, and we're going to see what Jesus looked like. Then I'm going to ask you, if Jesus looked like this, what did Mary look like? Read.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So he had woolly hair on his head. You got woolly hair on your head, sis. We got woolly hair. Read.
As white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. And his feet like unto fine brass.
So if you didn't have socks on and I look down at your feet in those sandals, you can see that your feet were the same color as the rest of your body, right? The top of your feet, not the bottom part, the top. The top of your feet is the same color as the rest of your body, right? And his hair what?
As if they burned.
No, read the other part.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
What color is brass? Brown, right? So it's already brown, but watch how brown it is.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So if you burn anything, it's going to get black, right? So Jesus Christ was a dark-skinned black man. So if he was a black man, what did his mother look like? She looked just like you, right? A black woman. The Bible is the blackest book on the planet. The Bible is your photo album.
Right.
The Bible is your history book. The Bible is your future. But guess what? They separated us from that. The Bible is your future. You want to rule, right? You want rulership. You want to be a goddess. You want to be a princess, right? You want these things, right? The Bible shows you how to get these things. The Bible says that the black woman was so delicate that her feet never touched the ground. Now we got our sisters walk up and down the street all day long. I know you don't like walking. My wife don't like walking. So I know my sisters don't like walking like that.
Walking is exercise.
Walking is exercise, but when you don't have to walk, why would you? You weren't meant to walk. You weren't meant to put up with the things that you have to put up with. Matter of fact, give me that. Deuteronomy 28:54, real quick. I'm gonna show you. This was a curse put upon us that our sisters.
I walked by one of these in Baton Rouge one day, and they said white people is a sin and mixed people is a sin. Is that true?
Are you mixed?
Yes.
I'm gonna show you about that.
I mean, I'm an
Matter of
abomination,
fact,
huh?
no. Give me Numbers 1 and 18. Numbers 1 and 18. Let's get some understanding on this. Read.
The book of Numbers, chapter 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees.
A pedigree is a bloodline. Read.
After their families, by the house of their fathers.
So your bloodline is determined by your father. You are the seed of your father, so you are what your father is. What is the nationality of your father?
Okay, I have another question.
Well, I need you to answer the question I just asked you. What's the nationality of your father? Then I'll ask you your other
I
question.
mean, you can tell by the color of my skin, but you be asking questions that we already know the answer to, like,
Well, I don't know.
And stuff. What color is bronze?
Well, look, I don't know what the nationality of your father is. Your father could be a white man, and you could be dark-skinned. My mother's father was white, but he's dark-skinned. So I do have to ask that question. So is your father like a white?
My dad's black-footed, well, Cherokee Indian.
Cherokee Indian. So you are a children of Israel. You are one of the chosen seeds of God. You are not an abomination, sis.
Right.
So what's your other question?
So if God made Adam and Eve, how everybody different colors?
If God made Adam and Eve, how is everybody different colors? That is a beautiful question. Let's get Genesis. Genesis chapter 25.
Bring it out.
Matter of fact, go to Genesis 2 and 7 first.
Right.
Genesis 2 and 7, then we're going to go to Genesis 25.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
The dust of the ground is different shades of brown. If you look at that dirt right there, it's brown, but the deeper you dig into the ground, the darker that dirt gets. So all men were dark-skinned brown at one point in time. So let's jump forward in history. Go to Genesis 25.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25.
Start at 21.
Verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife,
So we're talking about Isaac and Rebekah. They're about to have 2 children here.
because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
Right?
And the children struggled together with her, within her. And she said,
So she was barren. She wasn't able to have kids. And Isaac went to God and prayed for her. Now she's pregnant with twins, but these twins are fighting inside of her belly. Read.
and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
The word Genesis means beginning. So this is the beginning of nations. So it says 2 nations are in her womb.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today.
Read.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
So it says 2 manner of people. 2 different types of people shall be separated from her bowels. Read.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
So that separation shows you that they're not identical twins. This is going into fraternal twins, because fraternal twins separate like that. Read.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
Right. Read.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
Read.
And the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment.
So it said the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. The reason they came out red is because they had a lack of melanin. So their blood showed forth through their skin. That's the same thing we see today when a so-called Caucasian person, their skin turns beet red when they're in the sun. Because that blood starts to show forth in their skin. So read.
And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau.
The word Esau means wasted away. Again, talking about the lack of melanin in their skin. So they documented this first child's skin color because it was different. Read.
And after that came his brother out, and his hand took a hold on Esau's heel.
So they didn't describe what his brother looked like, because his brother looked like everybody else. Everybody else was dark skinned. This is the first account of somebody else coming out with a different skin color. Now, all different skin colors happen through mixing with this seed right here. The reason God did it, God knows why he did it. But that was the first, I guess you can call him an albino for lack of a better term. But that's the birth of the so-called Caucasian race. They come from Esau in the Bible.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.